Tabbouleh is a signature dish in the category Middle Eastern salads. It's a light yet nutritious salad that is characterized by its very finely chopped ingredients, mostly parsley. In the Middle East, this salad is traditionally served as a mezze or side dish for lunch or dinner. Let me show you how to make authentic Middle Eastern tabbouleh salad together with a quick and easy dressing. If you're new here, my name is Katie, and this channel is all about sharing my passion for delicious Middle Eastern recipes, food traditions, and culture with a special focus on my beloved country, Jordan. Before we get cooking, let's have a quick look at the ingredients. What most Middle Eastern recipes have in common is the fact that they rely on local ingredients. Parsley is a true staple in the Middle East and the main component of this salad. Luckily, you can find parsley in most parts of the world to make this delicious recipe. Use flat leaf parsley, also known as Italian parsley. Don't use curly parsley or cilantro. They look alike, but the taste is completely different. Bulgur, which is actually called burghul in Arabic, is another key ingredient for tabbouleh. Bulgur is made from cracked parboiled whole grain and is a very common ingredient in the Levantine countries, similar to couscous in North Africa. Be sure to use fine bulgur for tabbouleh, not the coarse variety. Fine bulgur doesn't need to be boiled, just soaked in hot water. Mint is another key ingredient to this salad. Use fresh mint leaves, not dried mint. Scallions, which are also known as spring onions or green onions, are optional, but many people, including me, like to add a few stems. No tabbouleh is complete without tomatoes. Be sure that your tomatoes are fully ripe and fresh. For tabbouleh, we'll use small cucumbers, also known as Persian cucumbers. They are less watery when compared to the large English cucumbers. You find them in most conventional grocery stores. The traditional dressing consists of olive oil, freshly squeezed lemon, pomegranate syrup, and a bit of salt. Tabbouleh is traditionally served on large romaine lettuce leaves. But of course, this is totally optional. There is a link in the description box for a complete list of ingredients and amounts which you can save or print out. Got all the ingredients ready? Yalla, let's get started. Start off by soaking the bulgur. Add to a mixing bowl and add hot water. Cover and let it sit for 20 minutes. Meanwhile, wash and chop all your vegetables. Parsley is the key ingredient of tabbouleh. Place the bunch on a chopping board. First, cut off the large stems and dispose. By the way, it's okay to keep the small stems between the leaves. Just be sure to remove any thick stems that you find in between. Then chop the remaining parsley with a sharp chef's knife. You get a rough chop at this stage. For tabbouleh, it's important that the parsley is very finely chopped. To achieve a fine chop, we'll apply the cross chop method. For this method, the tip of the blade remains on a cutting board while you rock the knife back and forth. Repeat this a few times. Using a sharp knife is essential for chopping, so be sure you have a good knife at hand. Same as with parsley, you need to very finely chop the mint. Mint is slightly different from parsley though. It has thicker stems even at the leaves, which don't taste good. It's worth the effort to pluck the mint leaves off the stems one by one. Place the mint leaves on your chopping board and then finely chop. Almost the entire scallion is edible. Simply cut off the stem ends and the dry parts on the top. Then give the scallions a fine chop. By the way, the upper parts, which are usually dark green, are milder in taste than the lower whitish parts. For tabbouleh, we can use both. Another key ingredient to tabbouleh is cucumber. Cut off the ends. If using small Persian cucumbers, cut into half lengthwise, cut each half into quarters, and finely dice. By the way, you don't have to peel the cucumbers, but you can do so if you prefer to. If the skin is waxy, it's better to peel it off. For me, tomatoes are an absolute must for tabbouleh. Remove the core, then finely chop the tomatoes. Peeling is not required. We'll use the entire tomato except for the core. By this time, your bulgur should be tender. It will have soaked up most of the water, but there will always be some excess moisture remaining. The traditional way is to wring the bulgur with your hands and then add it to the bowl. If you feel uncomfortable doing this by hand, simply drain the soaked bulgur in a fine mesh strainer. Combine the chopped herbs and vegetables and the soaked bulgur in a large mixing bowl and mix well to combine. By the way, if you're planning on eating the tabbouleh the day of preparing, combine all the ingredients right away. In case you're making the salad ahead of time, store all chopped vegetables in separate containers. Re-prepare the dressing in a separate bowl or pitcher. Combine olive oil, pomegranate syrup, freshly squeezed lemon juice, and salt. Whisk to combine. Add the dressing to the salad if serving right away. If not, you can store the dressing separately for later use for a couple of days. Pour the dressing onto the salad and mix well to combine all the ingredients. Tabbouleh is often served with Romano lettuce leaves. You can do so too if you want to serve it the authentic Middle Eastern way. And that's it, your tabbouleh is ready. Sahtain, enjoy!